Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 10th Focus Strategy Meet the Founder podcast. I'm Bob Goodman, CEO of Focus Strategy. Focus Strategy is a consulting firm established to help startup founders run the gauntlet and reach their goals and in an efficient and successful manner. Today, I'd like to introduce Ian Hanau, the co-founder and CEO of PlanIT Geo. PlanIT Geo provides a range of urban forestry software and consulting services to clients around the world, including municipalities, nonprofits, universities, private firms, and everyone in between. I was introduced to Ian by Clayton Steneroden, their CTO, who I connected with through the startup community site. And PlanIT Geo has been a client of Focus Strategy since September 2020. So welcome, Ian.
Hey, Bob. Thanks so much for having me. Yeah, it's been great working together the last few months. So
absolutely, it's been a real pleasure. You've got a lot of really good things going on, so I wanted to bring you in on the podcast as soon as we possibly can. So can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to get into the urban forestry industry? Kind of what's your story been up to date?
Right. Yeah, happy to. So I grew up in Maryland. I've been in Colorado now over 20 years, but really just as a kid, loved being in nature and loved maps and loved exploring anything in the outdoors. It's what brought me to Colorado for school and forestry and basically geospatial technologies. So I've been doing that about 20 years now. And what evolved essentially is sort of this nexus or intersection between a variety of different passions. So loving sales and business from being even a kid at that age to just trees and nature in general, and being able to bring those together to help solve urban environmental challenges and technology challenges. So we really have this love and passion for trees, technology, business, and mapping. And very few people, I think, can really take all those and put them together and make a career. And I had so many people in the early days say, I didn't know you could, that you could have a company that does that. I said, sure, of course. So
yeah, no, it's always great to be able to do something you love. And as I've told many people, you all have converted me to becoming a real live 100% tree hugger. I've got the hat, so I'm on board completely. So
and an urban tree hugger, because that's a unique breed. So.
Right. An urban tree hugger. I agree. Well, what I'd like to do now is kind of give you the screen and let you run through your 5-minute PlanIT Geo pitch. I know you're in the midst of starting an investor round, so we won't get into details on that investment, but it's certainly fine to talk about that you're in process of doing that. So let me go ahead and make sure you've got the screen, which you do, and the stage is yours.
Okay, that sounds great. Just go full screen here. You let me know if that looks good.
Looks good.
All right, terrific. Well, again, my name's Ian Hanau. I'm the founder and CEO at PlanIT Geo. We started in 2012. We are a team of people passionate about trees in our cities. The interesting thing about what's called urban forestry is it is really this, it brings together the science and the business and the art of all the values that trees have in our cities. And they have intrinsic value, but trees also have an asset value and they have an environmental value. And so I'll show you how we bring that business and that science together with trees that soak up carbon dioxide, clean the air, improve public health, reduce energy usage, things like that. So we are in the space of green asset management, and it's pretty unique. And there are urban foresters and arborists, our end users and target audiences all over the world. And in a variety of different industries, as I'll show you. And ultimately, people love trees. Yet at the same time, we're actually losing a lot of trees in our cities every year. And cities, of course, have pollution problems. They have a greater demand for green space than ever before, and we've seen that with the pandemic. What's unique about trees in cities is they need maintenance, they need care. They don't take care of themselves. And so we bring that technology to enable arborists and anybody involved in the care of trees to be able to do that better. It's a big industry. There's over 80,000, just in the US alone, over 80,000 tree care companies. Of course, hundreds of thousands of cities across the globe, which is our target market. As there's greater awareness on the benefits that trees provide in our cities, and we can calculate and quantify that, as I'll show you, there's greater business as well. So what we're trying to do is prepare cities as well as businesses for how to meet this increasing demand in cities. And if you haven't noticed, there are million tree planting initiatives all over the world. There's cities like New York City that have completed and finished their million tree planting initiative. We need to integrate technology in smart, sophisticated ways for enabling the benefits that trees provide and balancing that risk that trees can have in cities with the benefits they provide. So I think a good example of how to demonstrate this, we started with a lot of city government clients, and we've expanded to more campuses, corporate campuses, academic, private clients, and so forth. Over the summer, though, we got a phone call from an arborist, and he told us, I manage all the trees on our corporate campus and about 100 other office properties. We don't know how many trees we have, probably thousands. And we have 3 different contractors that are doing pruning and removal and tree planting for us. But they're all using different systems, and it's kind of chaotic. And we heard that your system, Tree Plotter, can bring all this into one place for us and really streamline what we're trying to do in terms of our corporate sustainability goals and, of course, the beautification and such of the campus. Well, it turns out that phone call was the arborist for the Apple campus in California, in Cupertino. So here we're looking at the Infinite Loop campus. It was really just a great example for us of the value of what we provide. And we've been doing this more and more with other industries, greater so into private sector, as I mentioned. So PlanIT Geo is a both consulting services and enterprise geographic information systems software company. And we focus on urban trees, parks, and related green asset management. And we deliver this through our channel partners globally. Historically, we've used our subject matter experts in urban forest management to bring in consulting revenue, and we've made a big switch in the last few years to a SaaS model. So we have this complementary services where we can host data for clients, we can map and analyze information, but ultimately we give them the tools to be able to deliver, to be able to either make money if they're in the private sector, as I'll show you, or save time and, of course, reduce the risk that trees might pose by maximizing the benefits and the values. Just a quick look at our 4 main products. Tree Plotter Inventory is our flagship product, sells at about $5,000 a year. This is used by a very wide swath of potential end users or target markets, from cities and small towns to campuses and consultants, or even tree care companies. We have nonprofits and so forth. So it's been very versatile, and that's the majority of our annual recurring revenue right now. Tree Plotter Jobs is our brand new product, and we've already built it. We're looking to accelerate the sales and marketing for this, and it's very unique because it's specific for helping tree care companies do estimates and provide proposals, do their work, and invoice clients, very streamlined. So it's really a business operations tool, quite a bit different. Canopy allows cities to visualize and analyze their tree cover and the benefits they provide. And then Parks sells for a little bit of a higher price. It is sort of an upgrade to Tree Plotter Inventory. It brings in a whole new audience and user base, and it allows them to inspect all their assets in a park system. Well, we've been able to tap research that's been accumulating over the last 30 years by the US Forest Service and other universities. And we basically our solution allows arborists to quantify the benefits that trees provide and validate an investment in the care of trees. So we use this within Tree Plotter to quantify benefits and savings. It allows cities to influence their decision makers, increase budgets, and in the private sector, it allows our clients to have conversations about increasing property values and really the true quantifiable benefits that trees provide. Well, we're looking to accelerate growth, as Bob mentioned. Our market strategy is pretty straightforward. We're going to continue with our SaaS pricing model. We're going to significantly grow our sales team, in particular our international channel partner program. We want to double down or triple down on customer success for retention metrics. And we have a lot more we can do within marketing in terms of growth hacking strategies. We know our competition very well. This basically kind of juxtaposes the combination of price and the completeness of our solution compared to some competitors. Competitors could be in-house systems, they could be asset management systems, or they could be industry-specific tools. So our team really knows these inside and out. We know where we stand in terms of price and the completeness of our solution. We've looked at the market potential and total addressable market. So again, this is every city, campus, tree care business, et cetera, across the globe. Conservatively, we think this is 750 million. And from some reports we've done, we've built this up as well as our own internal analysis. In 2020, we grossed about 2.5 million as a company. We have a 3-year growth plan, again, based on finding the right investment partner. And you can see that on screen here. This does represent both the consulting services, but as well as the SaaS, but the SaaS side is about 80% of the forecasted revenue growth. Here's a quick look at our team. One of the things about our talented team here is everybody you're seeing on screen has been here for 4 to 7 years. They know our clients, they know our services and products, they know our competition, and they're ready to grow. So a few reasons to invest in PlanIT Geo and Tree Plotter at this time. We are already a current leader globally. It's a rapid expanding marketplace, so we really think we're poised for growth. We have an experienced team, as I mentioned, already 8 international channel partners that we want to grow, and we know exactly where we need to hire for that growth plan. We have existing family of products as well. We have a lot of traction, about 1.4 million in ARR right now, and new ideas for additional SaaS products. So I thank you for your time, and I would love it if you're interested, contact us. We're looking for accredited investors. We're also interested in the right strategic hires for the growth plan. So
great. Well, Ian, congratulations on being able to build and scale your business to date. I know it's a great family of products, and it's a great opportunity in a really fast-growing space. So again, congratulations. If you can give me the screen back again.
Yes, sir.
There we go. I know that you mentioned, I love that tree shot where you break down the different kind of returns and how you can quantify real results for your arborists, especially municipality arborists, as far as being able to get the budgets that they need to take care of the trees. So I know there's a real return on tree plotter investments that your customers are making. So that's exciting, especially for a SaaS company. We've all been through a challenging 2020 with the pandemic. And I was wondering if you could kind of talk a bit about your experience and how the pandemic has affected the urban forestry space and kind of where you think the industry is going, in 2021 and into the future.
Okay. Yeah, so sort of 2 parts to the question. The first, certain industries had their biggest year ever. So tree care, for example, a lot of us are around our homes, or maybe almost all of us in 2020. And I think that created that appreciation of looking around at your landscapes. And we had most of our clients in tree care had their biggest year ever, they told us. So from a business standpoint, that was pretty interesting. Additionally, of course, we were all seeking social distancing and exercise. I mean, I saw more people walking their dogs in the middle of a weekday than I've ever seen in my life, right? So I think that what that generated was that additional value in parks and open spaces or natural areas in and around cities, and proper management of green infrastructure. So that I know for us as a company really kind of just doubled down on our resolve about what we're focused on. So we also as a company pivoted in a few ways, of course, back in April. Some that aren't as exciting that I won't mention, but I think we really positioned our software and our solution as something that is very suitable, being cloud hosted for remote work, as well as, of course, arborists or urban foresters are often in the field. And so those are pretty good socially distanced activities. So as the demand was going up, we were able to help people meet that demand.
Interesting. Yeah, I know Tree Plotter's SaaS-based products are certainly part of a fast-growing industry in urban forestry. Can you speak a bit
And
about
I didn't actually answer the second part of your question,
Oh,
is
I'm sorry. Go
where
ahead.
things are going. Sorry to interrupt you. Maybe just a couple of thoughts on that. Some of it I've already mentioned, but there's just a greater recognition about the benefits of trees. Whether it's from 30 years of research and bringing that into tools where we can, quantify benefits of trees, but really it's just more mainstreamed. I mean, climate action plans now have chapters on urban forests that did not exist 20 years ago when I got into the industry. Internationally, there's just been this massive wave. Cities all over the place are really. I just saw a new article yesterday from Paris about some boulevards that they're going to green.
Yeah.
And so there's so many international programs and awareness. Last year we had 3 clients from Romania. I never would have told you that would happen, right? And that's just this tiny little tip of the iceberg, I think, on people realizing it and being evangelists for what we do as tech providers to make it's just so much easier to see the data that we're talking about. So, and as I mentioned in the pitch, as people do million tree planting initiatives, somebody down the road is going to have to take care of those trees. So those businesses, the tree care businesses, that's where some of that total addressable market, the TAM, is looking to increase so much. So just a few things.
The news this morning, I saw about the Champs-Élysées and how they're bringing it from 8 lanes down to 4, and they're going to create a park, which is remarkable. So that's for you guys. That's a absolute perfect example of kind of where the world's going right now. So
yep,
good place to be. Yeah. You talked about the complementary solutions that you've been offering and how you're moving much more to the SaaS side. Can you talk a bit about why you've decided to make that change and why you're focusing more and more on the SaaS side of your business?
Well, certainly the recurring revenue, is appealing. I think from a more humanistic or emotional side, people just loved what we were doing. Like you mentioned Clayton at the beginning. When he joined us in 2014, he just said, I've never heard people say such positive things about a software program, because they were sort of thirsting for it, right? So, I mean, where we go and where we scale needs to have new innovation, I guess. But 6-7 years ago, we just really hit the market hard, because for people to be able to pull up their phone or their tablet and not have to install a software and be able to have the maps that are getting so much better these days, the imagery. So all these things really converged. And just for people to, as I've always said, GIS, meaning geographic information systems, to do GIS without even knowing that they're doing GIS has been one of our goals, right?
Right.
And so that's still something we're fine tuning constantly by working with clients and listening to them. So I guess I just love it. I think I just really like the product oriented nature of it, in meeting solutions. And of course, with services, you have to keep going back to win more work. Although we do have a fair bit that is recurring with our consulting work as well, but not to the same degree. So yeah. Just love making technology easier for people and hearing their feedback. We've got 100 and something reviews on Capterra, and it's fun to go read them well. There's some negative comments. There's always going to be, but that's reality. But
yeah,
it underscores.
I think you've done a great job of converting over to more of the SaaS model, and SaaS model is very well respected, certainly by a lot of business people, including investors. So I think that's definitely the right way to go. I always like to ask founders in these podcasts if they have any experience related to how they have started their companies and built their companies that they could also communicate out to other founders who are considering the pathway, so to speak. So anything that you kind of would recommend to founders that you found to be successful for you as a startup founder?
Right. Oh, how much time do you have? No.
Yeah.
So let's see, started the company in 2012. So we just had our sort of 9th year anniversary. But I guess I would suggest a few things to start simple is think big, think long-term. I mean, when I set out, we were, again, no SaaS solution, very heavily on the consulting services side, but saw that opportunity quickly. If I had been in this situation 6-7 years ago, had an injection early on, probably would have, significantly amplified our growth. Although, I mean, we've done quite well, nearing $1.5 million in ARR after really about 3 to 4 years as a true SaaS solution. So yeah, think big, think long term, absolutely. Obviously, be ready to work hard. I read one somewhere that CEOs don't have 2 good days in a row. And that might be the truth. Maybe you don't have 2 good weeks in a row. So I think, incentivize your people. I'm extremely fortunate to have hardworking people who they're loyal. They want to be here. They see the potential for the growth, what it means to people that we work with. So, triple down on your people, of course. Like I said, we didn't get investment early. Some pure SaaS companies do that, but having all those subject matter expertise, I can't say whether it's just because we're in an industry focused on trees and other green assets or not, but it matters a lot. People love to know that at least our DNA is wrapped in people who have degrees and have actually climbed trees to prune branches or written plans for how to improve your tree management in cities. So, for us, that balance of having the consulting group, but as we grow, I mean, I see the two, really having separate paths. But
yeah, no, I think you definitely have built a great team. Your timing is I think excellent. I think we're seeing the kind of the green movement accelerating even more. Certainly, probably with the last political change we've had in this country, we're going to see a lot more on the climate kind of change issue. I think you've got traction, which is excellent for being in the right stage, and you've got a really strong, compelling value. So I think you've really kind of put in place the 4 pillars that I call well. So again, congratulations on that. And I know you're right now focused on really accelerating growth and gaining market share as fast as possible. So I certainly want to work with you to make that happen. Kind of getting into the end of the podcast, do you have any special promotions that PlanIT Geo is running for any of your products? And if so, how does someone find out about it and actually take part in it?
Yeah, so I mentioned in the pitch, Tree Plotter Jobs is our newest product, and again, it's really for small and mid-sized tree care companies and landscape companies to do their estimates and proposals and invoice their clients. So we're doing with focus strategy as the keyword. We're doing a 50% discount for the first 6 months of 2021. And again, we did a freemium model for a little while, and we're just coming out of that right now. So
the Tree Plotter Jobs product, you're offering for new clients 50% discount for the next 6 months.
Yep.
And they go to your site and they'll see information about that. And if they use the code focus strategy, which is an excellent code to use, then they can have access to that. That sounds great.
Yep, it's just treeplotter.com/jobs.
Okay. And are there any specific things that you're looking for from the audience today that you if you had a chance to reach out to people who are watching this podcast?
I would say if you love what we're doing, not just I want a partner that loves what we're doing. They see it's exciting. They see the emerging market and that nexus or intersection that I was talking about. If this excites you, green environmental assets for climate change and urban sustainability and technology, give us a call. info@planitgeo.com is a good one. It's a good catch-all. What else? We're also interested, of course, in talented people we can add to our team. We have a lot of subject matter experts. I think we do need to look really hard at some SaaS experts in the field as well. So I think hiring and then any accredited investors who really love what we're doing.
Great.
Great to hear.
And again, it's info@planitgeo.com.
Yeah, Planet with an I.
Great. Well, this has been exciting. I enjoy what you all are doing. It's always a pleasure to speak with you as well. And I want to thank you for taking time to be part of the Focus Strategy Meet the Founders podcast series. So if you can hang on, I'm going to go and kind of do a little commercial, if you will, for Focus Strategy, but stay right there and we'll be back in just a second. So again, thank you, Ian, for being part of the Meet the Founder podcast. Focus Strategy is a firm that I founded, focused on helping founders develop the right strategy and kind of challenge established thinking and really drive transformation. We help founders build teams with the right people, the right clear purpose, and an effective process that enables you to achieve sustainable advantage. And we help founders cover all the facets of a great due diligence package. So if you're wanting to attract investors, we can help you put that all together. And obviously, the bottom line is we're here to help you accelerate growth and shape the future. So if you're interested, if you're a startup founder and you'd like to reach out to me, my information is there on the screen. And certainly continue to check out for the next Focus Strategy Meet the Founder podcast. This is, as I mentioned, is our 10th. And we'll be doing these pretty much on a weekly basis. So again, Ian, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure. I think you've got a great company with solid solutions. Timing's perfect. So I'm, as usual, very excited about what you're doing. So take care, stay safe and healthy, and have a successful 2021.
Absolutely. You as well, Bob, on all the above. So
all right,
thanks.
take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Yep.